Insanity check in the house. It is June 23rd.
Yep.
It is hot, but it ain't blazing hot like it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, definitely. This place would have probably shorted out. They would have needed circuit breakers a couple of days ago. But
when you're in New York City, we have to deal with the heat and humidity.
Yeah.
And one of the worst places in the world to be on a hot day is in the subway.
Between bum funk and
subway bum,
tourists with them damn flip-flops on and stinky ass feet,
loud ass wild kids, and for some reason, I don't know, is it the trains that's generating just mad amounts of heat?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure because sometimes it's literally like a sheet of heat.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go into the train car. So, I mean, and then other cars is like a damn traveling refrigerator box. So, you might crack like glass in the freezer from going from hot to cold, from hot to cold.
Like the Terminator. But there's going to be apparently much more things to be worried about when you go into the subway systems. If, of course, the government, Soul Brother number 1 has his way as he tries to protect us from the horrors of invisible terrorists.
And invisible terrorists, like the gooch. I mean, basically, that's what they just summoning the gooch from different strokes for anything that they need to do or pass, and it's just getting out of hand. Obviously, if anyone knows who the TSA are, that TSA, those are those basically pedophiles, perverts. We've covered them on the show already, making lactating women drink their own milk because it might be a bomb, something like that, just for their own amusement, making some elderly infirm man, pull off his colostomy bag, which is fucking ridiculous and obscene. Of course, molesting any buxom woman they possibly could find, because we all know that women must hide like all sorts of bombs and anthrax and everything in they fucking D cups. Well, so they got to squeeze them up.
C4 works best in between a pair of tits.
C cups, C4, whatever.
Yeah, well, it all works the same.
And it's all under auspices of protecting you. You have to be protected so they can destroy all of your freedoms. So now, House bill extends TSA intel sharing to mass transit. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. It's very, very, very short, but I think the ramifications of a bill like this is absolutely ridiculous. But the Transportation Security Administration already shares intelligence it collects with airports. Now a House bill would expand TSA's intel sharing to local mass transit systems as well. Representative Jackie Spear, Democrat out of California, the bill's sponsor, said the legislation is a common sense approach to fighting terrorism. The House passed the bill May 30th, and the Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs is now considering the bill. In an interview with the Federal Drive with Tom Tiemann and Emily Kopp, Spear said the bill creates fusion centers, I'll tell you what that is, where TSA can provide intel to local law enforcement and emergency management officials. We have put in place through TSA a very elaborate system in airports. We all go through those metal detectors, blah, 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 blah. Basically, they want to be able to accost you and molest you at the bus terminal and at the train station. All because of the war on terror. Now, here's a funny thing. Let me see if I can find this. Spear said 2 million people fly each day compared with more than 5 million who ride the subway each day. In New York City alone. Hey, I've been in New York City my whole life. I haven't seen any terrorist shit as far as in the subways that wasn't brought in by the government, but that's another story.
Come on, you trying to say that mysterious soda can of anthrax that could be hustled into the New York train system?
No, I actually realized.
You never saw that?
No. I saw 3 terrorists yesterday on the train. I was on the train, and these 3 kids came in, and of course they put down that radio and they started flipping and dancing for dollars and shit. They were obviously trying to distract us while somebody planted something on the fucking tracks. I mean, of course we all know terrorists like to dance and jig them up on the pole.
Yeah, but lucky for us, somehow or another, no one got blown up.
No one got blown up. I mean, they got $1 yeah. So here it is. She pointed out that the most recent terrorist attacks have been on mass transit. Also, when U.S. Special Forces raided Osama bin Laden's compound last year, intelligence gathered revealed the next attack was intended for mass transit. Bullshit. That's a fucking lie. First of all, that was a crash test dummy. dummy that they just shot up and dragged that shit into some water and tried and stuck a beard on him. That was straight ridiculous, nonsensical lies to scare people. And conveniently, he happened to have some the crash test dummy happened to have some mass transit blueprints and all that other kind of stuff, so they could pass some pat you down, frisk you up, and feel your nutsack fucking law in the train station. But they're gonna, there's a lot of stinking, sweaty, bald people in New York City. They're gonna get more than they bargained for if they want to start feeling up people in New York City.
I hope New Yorkers has a mad infestation of genital warts and herpes.
Genital warts and ball cheese, because...
But let me give you a little bit of New York history. Remember the backpack searches?
Oh, yeah, of course,
Because in another attempt to save us from all these terrorists, the police department would set up tables in the train stations, and, they tried not to profile anybody, so they would randomly search people who had backpacks, and people still have backpacks to this day. Our backpacks are right there on the couch.
Everyone has backpacks in New York City.
And just do a little quick search to try and see if we were carrying anything.
Yeah.
Now, you just heard what he read. 5 million people a day go through the subway system. You search, I don't know, 2,000? What do you think your chances are of finding anything, if there's anything to be found?
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, who was stupid enough, once again, most of the people they were frisking and stuff like that were, low-income people and stuff like that. And, unless you're going to think you're going to find somebody with aerosol cans for bombing a train, like back in 1982 or something like that.
Bombing is a graffiti term, by the way.
Exactly. When you're putting a tag on, it's not literal bombing. So don't come, knocking down our door with a bazooka or something like that. But, yeah, so they did not net anything. It was just a waste of everybody's time, or an excuse to see if they could find a dime bag on some stupid ass teenager that was stupid enough to keep it in his bag before he went to school or something like that. 5 million people a day. There's no fucking way that you're going to be able to search anywhere near enough people. So if a terrorist really wanted to do something, between the bridges, walking on the bridge, riding your bike on a bridge,
walking past all those cops on their cell phones, by the way, and not looking at shit.
Exactly. There is realistically no way to prevent this from happening without violating everyone's rights as far as frisking and stopping each and every person that walks the streets of New York.
Because think about it. This is what they tell us. Whole fucking region across the world hates us for our freedom, wants to blow us up.
Yeah.
There are terror cells, Kiefer Sutherland spent 7 years on television.
Jack Bauer trying to kill terror cells.
About terror cells in this country. So I'm to believe, and according to what we're told, one white man, blew up the FBI building with fertilizer and gasoline
and manure and all this other kind of stuff. Yet several of the explosions were inside the building, even though he put the bomb outside.
Whatever. Let's get into the conspiracy part of it. Let's just stick with the hard facts. And the hard facts are, one guy was able to take down an FBI building with standard, farm equipment, chemicals on that. But we're to believe, again, that for the past 20 years, with all these terror cells lurking,
well-funded terror cells,
ruling to destroy us, that not one of these guys can walk into an open mass transit system and blow anything up.
And of course, they don't care about killing themselves, so it's not like, the guy has to plant it and run. He is the bomb, so
again,
that is absolutely
all this shit works because you people are stupid and you believe this shit.
But I just thought of something, by taking away all of our freedoms, will those other countries hate us anymore? Because then we won't have the freedoms either.
Then we won the war on terror.
Exactly. That's the way you win the war on terror, because obviously we have more freedom than they do, so you take all of our freedom away, we're on a level playing field, they don't hate us anymore.
But outside of just, nosy pigs looking through your bags or squeezing your nutsack, there's some other things that, you might be seeing in the subway system soon, or in the street, or in your office building, or in your own damn house.
Could you cue this? Put those pictures of these insects. Now, this is something straight out of a science fiction film.
Straight out of Transformers.
Yeah, and actually, this was, I don't know if people saw the trailer for the now delayed G.I. Joe 2, but they actually featured some of these particular drones in the commercial, the trailer for the G.I. Joe 2 starring The Rock. And basically what these things are miniature insect-sized cameras that can fly just like insects, innocuously passing behind you and all the rest of this stuff, and recording information and sending it back to whomever.
Bloomberg, Giuliani.
Yeah. I mean, this is
the black jackal, as Mr. California called him last week. You know, soul brother number one Obama.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Now, dig this. Now, see, I just love the terminology. You know, the Air Force calls these things lethal minidrones. Lethal minidrones, because from what I understand, one of the photographs, I'm not sure if it's in that particular photograph, but they can actually stick you. They can actually crash into you and stick you. They can, you know, they can basically outfit it with whatever they need, like a little miniature camera and all the rest of this kind of stuff.
Which would probably be, you know, some other bird flu, fucking flesh-eating disease or whatever nonsense that comes, that's airborne, that gets to America, hits 2 people, and then disappears.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this, but see, I love the way they phrase all of this stuff. It says researchers have now developed bioinspired drones with bug eyes, bat ears, bird wings, and even honeybee-like hairs to sense biological, chemical, and nuclear weapons. See, so everything is wrapped around in a nice envelope of, we need to protect you. So we can put these little mosquitoes and gnats and things that fly all around everybody, recording everything, because what we're actually looking for is that one lone nut with the big radiation tattoo on his fucking chest and a cape and a big bomb with a fucking fuse hanging out of it, you know, because they're looking for this Mr. Conspicuous while they film and record all of us.
And surely they won't be saving any of the information they get on us.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, and all of this harkens back to, when I say conspiracy theory, I mean, this is not something that, once again, I didn't make this up. This bill is not like in some kid's dorm room or anything like that. These are things that are actually being pushed forth, and this is what we have to deal with. I mean, this is
what push forward nice and quietly, because without anybody
watching, because people, of course, watching stupid television and fucking around with Facebook and all this other kind of stuff. And these fusion centers, this is like when you're on the list of at a fusion center, it's like the no-fly list. Okay, and all branches of governments or the government is basically passing this intel back and forth amongst themselves. And if you happen to be a protester, you know, which is your right as an American citizen to protest, as long as you're not doing something destructive, even though they made it, you know, protest zones, which to me is unconstitutional as it is, but what have you. If you're protesting something, they can put you in one of these fusion center like databases, and from that point forth, you're on a watch list. You're on a watch list, and everything you do can be monitored, and probably is monitored.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, but of course, you know, the answer to that is, well, if you don't have anything to hide, then what are you worried about?
That's some bullshit. I mean, that's like saying, you know, I can look at you naked inside your house, and if you don't have 3 titties, you should have no problems with it. I mean, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But that's what they do, you know. Well, I'm going to let you invade every element of my privacy because I don't have anything to hide. No, that's absolutely ass backwards, and I don't know what that actually means, but I know it means ridiculous. And
well, the other thing it means is that we are at our first break, and it also means people are idiots. And we'll be back
falling for this shit
in 2 minutes.